So the Pakistani armed forces do not control the border region.
Do not control. They have automatically they're living with them over there. They don't have the authority to stop them or the authority to tell them to don't do such things. They are just showing up. They're just for show off. They're there, but they cannot do anything. So there's a checkpoint of Pakistani police, and next door you could see Taliban stopping the car and asking people their identity. Anybody who works with the U.S. government or they're foreigners, they stop and they check you. They take you on the mountains, and I don't know what will happen to that person. Nobody knows.
Were your family? Have you lost family or friends in this war?
Not I didn't lost, but we got a lots of times. We got beaten, and we had a lots of bad experience from. We don't know who are they. There are 4 groups in Afghanistan. One group they call them Pakistani Taliban. One group they call it Afghani Taliban. In the middle there's some thieves. They have guns. They're using the name of Taliban and Pakistani Taliban, and they are raping people. They kidnapping people by the name of Taliban. And there's a militia, which is the people who has guns. They're not army. They're not thieves. So there's so many groups involved in those regions. So you don't know who does it, and you don't know exactly who are doing these things. So it's very hard. It's a mixed up war going on over there, and it's very hard, very hard.
So, Masood, do you think that there's a useful role for the United States to play in the situation?
In the situation when the Al Qaeda was captured Afghanistan, that was I think this is my point of view. Is it's a good move, but the United States in 7 years. When I go back to Afghanistan, I didn't see any changes in Afghanistan, especially in Kabul. In 7 years, billions of dollars has been expended in the war, the reconstruction of Afghanistan. But when I went there, because I was local, I could walk, I can talk to people, I could see. I was very free. I was not looking like Americans. But when I didn't see any changes in Afghanistan since 2001, when America invade Afghanistan and went to Afghanistan to start the war, and billions of dollars. There's no any group or any organization who's controlling the money. The money is going wrong hands, and people are taking advantage of the United States government, the international communities who are helping Afghanistan. There's a loss of corruption in Afghanistan government. There is, it's important to be in Afghanistan, but in up to certain ways. If you do something good things to Afghanistan, it's better. But for now, I didn't see any changes. If they send more troops or they did not send more troops, I didn't see any changes in Afghanistan.
And the effect of the military presence in Afghanistan?
The effects, it's a lot of people in Afghanistan, they think that Americans and Russian are the same, different faces. That's what is going on in Afghanistan now. When America first came to Afghanistan, Afghanistan people, because I was living there when America came. So the people of Afghanistan were very happy. They had a lot of hope. They were thinking that there will be peace will come to our country. American people are different than Russian. But in 7 years, the people of Afghanistan didn't see any changes. There are more poor people in Afghanistan. There's more kidnapping. the houses it's too much, it's very expensive. Then the Taliban regime, it was cheaper than the cost of living in Afghanistan was cheaper than right now. So the poor people are very hungry, the people are very not happy from what's going on right now. So what the people are thinking on the military bases, they think that Americans is the same, they have the same target, the same aim that the Russian had. So it's like if it's happened like this, it will be like it's very hard for the U.S. government to stay in Afghanistan, because Afghan peoples are very brave. They don't let anybody, when they get against any country, any nation, they don't let any nation to stay in Afghanistan if everybody stand up against that nation, like Russian, like British. So I mean, American people at the beginning, they had good things. They build up like schools, they help up a lots of people in Afghanistan. But slowly, there a lots of like changes came.
So what do you think what turned the so Afghan opinion? You said originally when the Americans arrived, people were feeling this might be a good thing. What changed? Was it the actions of the Americans that changed things, or
yes, the action of the Americans?
Specifically, what?
They start another war in Iraq. So totally when they start two wars, a country, the focus and attention of that country was away. So the Al Qaeda and the Taliban and the terrorists that they would disappear. So they build up each other together. So they get stronger and stronger by the time that they were fighting Iraq, because all the focus was in Iraq too and in Afghanistan. It was war, but not focused war like right now it is. If they attack Afghanistan, and on that time they were like sending more troops and clean up before they start Iraq war, that would be a good idea. But when they start a war in Iraq, the people of Afghanistan, I think they did not do anything to us. Why they start another war in Iraq? So the people of Afghanistan, they are right now, they are not very happy from U.S. government and the military bases and the more troops that they are sending. If you see that on the news on Al Jazeera and local TV stations in North Waziristan and like local TV channels, they say there are more suicide bombers, there are more kidnapping, there are more innocent people dying. And the commander of Taliban, they like send like audio tape that the more United States and international community send more troops, the more it will be more suicide bombers. And the people are voluntarily, they suicide themselves because lack of knowledge. They don't have knowledge, they don't have education. So whatever the people say, they do it. They're all like very young and innocent kids dying over there. They kill themselves and they kill other innocent people in Afghanistan.
So what? Let me come back to you, Dr. Wood. Masoud described all these various sort of iterations of the Taliban and then Al Qaeda. And do these groups, to your knowledge, do they work together?
Initially, they didn't very well. The Al Qaeda at one point actually began to argue that they should take on all the Shia as one of the goals, and so they went after a subset of Muslims inside Afghanistan. So there's this playing back and forth with the host. We look after people when they come to Afghanistan, but it was not in the terms of the Taliban having the same goals as Al Qaeda. The Taliban has never really bought into the notion that there should be a caliph in Istanbul and the other kind of thing that's running around in radical Sunni circles. So basically, in the early days, there were not many troops in Afghanistan. The number of Americans that were involved on the ground was something less than 300. And the people who were doing the fighting were from the Northern Alliance.